Center here. I've gone ahead and done a little bit of prep work. Welcome back. This is part 2 of installing ThermalTake's Water 2.0 LCS system. I did a little bit of prep work. I put the retention plate on as it's supposed to be, and I went ahead and put on the back plate. The parts are very nicely done. I am going to go ahead and say that the instructions are not very nicely done. The other thing that I've noticed is that this retention plate, as far as being attached to the motherboard, does not fit quite as perfectly as I would have liked. I've installed a lot of these types of systems, cooling and whatnot, and this one, just for being claimed to fit an LGA 775, it is a little bit funky, is the only way that I can state it. So you're going to have to fight with it a little bit. And there again, a lot of that could have been alleviated if the directions were a little bit clearer. Other than that, it should fit on and screw in just like an air cooling system. But be aware that on some motherboards, evidently, and mine would be one of them, this is a DFI LAN party, it does not want to fit as perfectly as LGA 775 should. The bracket seems to be a little bit, just a hair too big, and there's really not much you can do about that. I do think that we'll be able to get it on tight enough for it to make full contact with the CPU, which was my initial concern. If you don't have full contact with the CPU, it don't matter. You're not going to be able to get it to do its job and keep your system cool. Also keep in mind, these tubes are a little bit stiff, so it makes maneuvering this thing a little difficult. Sit it down here and give ourselves a little bit more leverage here. If you're retrofitting it into your system the way I am, it's going to be a lot more difficult than if you're putting this in on a brand new build. Expect an entire afternoon of just taking apart your system and putting in this one. But that's not ThermalTake's fault. That is just life. That's the way it works.
because this retention plate does not want to sit as level as it should, this one screw is having to go in at an angle, which is causing a major problem. That is the fault of ThermalTake. This bracket does not fit LGA 775 the way that it should. Although I realize there are a ton of different manufacturers out there of motherboards, so that may be part of the issue. But this bracket system could be better designed. Now the last part of installing this, of course, we'll want to put the motherboard in first. But as you can see, this is going to be a push-pull system. So the last part of this will be dropping the fan. The last part of this will be putting this fan on the inside of the case and then mounting the radiator to it. What this allows is this fan will be sucking, this fan will be blowing, so air is going to be constantly pulled through the radiator. So last but not least, let's go ahead and I'll put the system back together, and go ahead and join us for part 3. And part 3 we'll be testing out the temps, and we'll see what this thing can really do and put it through its paces. We'll be running Future Mark 11, and we'll probably test it out in some real-time gaming. Something that will actually tax the system, perhaps even the beta of Firefall. All right, go ahead and join us for part 3. Thanks a lot. Press the red button.